Boston likes to brag about being old. And to be fair, it's earned that right. But there's one place in the city where history didn't just happen, it moved in and never bothered to pack its bags. Welcome to Boston Common. This is America's oldest public park, and possibly its most passive-aggressive haunted location. Now, on any given day, you'll see people picnicking here, jogging here, walking their dogs here. They are doing all of this while standing on ground that quietly remembers executions, wars, disease, and arguments that lasted longer than some civilizations. And naturally, the ghosts that live here have thoughts. Let's start with the woman who refused to back down. The year was 1660. A Quaker woman named Mary Dyer was led to the gallows right here on the Common. Her crime? Believing the wrong thing and flat out refusing to stop believing it. Witnesses from the time said she walked calmly, even peacefully, to her execution. There was no panic, no pleading, just resolve. Ever since, people claim to see a woman in gray walking the park at dawn. She doesn't approach anyone. She doesn't cry or scream, she just walks slow, steady, and totally unapologetic. Which, honestly, feels very on brand for a woman who once stared down an empire and essentially said, "No, actually, I'm good." Now, fast forward a century to 1770, the Boston Massacre. British soldiers, angry colonists, gunfire, death. History books neatly wrapped that whole event up and put a bow on it. Boston Common, however, did not. After dark, people still report hearing heavy bootsteps marching in perfect formation where absolutely no reenactment is scheduled. Park guards have described sudden cold patches and the unmistakable sound of metal scraping stone. Sometimes those phantom footsteps stop abruptly, as if someone just remembered they lost that war. But here's the part that no tour brochure loves. The children no one talks about. In the 1700s, the Common also hosted a smallpox inoculation hospital. Many patients, especially children, didn't survive. Late at night, visitors have reported soft, indistinct laughter. They hear quiet crying and light, quick footsteps too small to belong to any adult. There are no shadows. No visible figures. Just sound, and somehow that just makes it worse. What makes Boston Common different from almost every other haunted place is this: it doesn't try to scare you. There's no screaming. There are no dramatic apparitions lunging out of the fog. Instead, people talk about a heavy feeling like being observed politely but firmly. It's as if the park itself is saying, "Yes, you're welcome here. Just remember where you're standing." The energy here isn't chaotic, it's incredibly patient. Very New England, in fact. Boston Common is officially advertised as a great place to relax. The ghosts, however, would like to clarify that this was never part of the original agreement. This land was used for punishment, for protest, for war, and for disease long before it was ever used for throwing frisbees. And Boston, if nothing else, is excellent at holding a grudge. When we talk about the end of a typical Common haunting, nobody runs screaming. That's not the style here. Instead, people just feel profoundly uncomfortable. They suddenly decide they've remembered somewhere else they urgently need to be, and that might just be the most Boston haunting of all. If you like stories where history is still showing up uninvited, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.